Picture this, you're feeding your beloved cat, thinking you're giving them a harmless treat, when in reality you could be slowly poisoning them. Sounds terrifying, right? But that is the shocking reality for thousands of cat owners globally. Many foods we consume daily and consider completely safe are actually pure poison for our furry friends. In this video, we're going to reveal 20 potentially deadly foods that you probably never suspected. Get ready to learn the truth that could ultimately save your cat's life. Have you ever stopped to think that something healthy for a human could be lethal for your pet? Let us know in the comments. Which food do you think is the most dangerous for cats? Cats are fascinating predators whose digestive systems differ significantly from ours. Over thousands of years of evolution, their bodies have adapted to a diet based almost exclusively on meat. They aren't just carnivores, they are obligate carnivores. This means their bodies are not equipped to process many plant components and other substances that are perfectly normal for humans. Because of this, what seems harmless to a person can actually be a ticking time bomb for a cat. Unlike dogs, cats lack the necessary enzyme set required to break down various carbohydrates and toxins. Their metabolism operates differently, and even tiny doses of certain substances can trigger severe poisoning. Unfortunately, many owners aren't aware of these fundamental differences and unknowingly put their beloved pets at tremendous risk. The first, and arguably one of the most insidious enemies, is chocolate. Yes, it's a delicious treat loved by millions, but to your cat, it's absolute poison. Chocolate contains theobromine, a compound cats simply cannot metabolize efficiently. Even a small amount can trigger vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, and potentially death. The darker the chocolate, the higher the concentration of theobromine, making it exponentially more dangerous for your feline friend. Keep this in mind whenever dessert is out on the counter or table. Picture a tiny cat that accidentally ingested a bar of dark chocolate. Their condition would rapidly become critical. This isn't a myth. It is a scientifically proven fact that far too many owners tend to overlook. Next up on our list are onions and garlic, and all their relatives, including leeks and chives. These foods contain compounds that can break down a cat's red blood cells, resulting in life-threatening anemia. Signs of toxicity often don't appear immediately, sometimes taking several days to manifest. This delay makes proper diagnosis much harder. Even a small quantity, whether fresh, dried, or in powdered form, can be highly toxic. You need to be especially vigilant about baby food, which often contains hidden onion powder, and particularly careful with table scraps. Just imagine your curious cat licking clean a plate that held a garlic-infused sauce. That tiny, seemingly harmless exposure is how poisoning happens. The common myth that a little bit won't hurt can tragically prove fatal. Alcohol. While it might seem obvious, many people simply underestimate just how toxic it is to cats. Even the smallest amounts of alcoholic beverages, that includes beer, wine, and spirits, can cause severe poisoning. Cats lack the necessary enzymes to process alcohol. This means it rapidly enters their bloodstream and immediately attacks the central nervous system. This can quickly lead to a loss of coordination, vomiting, diarrhea, respiratory issues, coma, and even death. It's also important to note that even the yeast found in raw bread dough can ferment inside a cat's stomach, producing dangerous levels of alcohol. Just picture a kitten accidentally knocking over a glass of wine. The results can be devastatingly serious. It is absolutely not worth testing to see how much your cat enjoys a drink. Caffeine found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, and certain medications is another dangerous substance we need to monitor. Similar to theobromine, caffeine overstimulates a cat's nervous system, and critically, their bodies cannot process or flush it out quickly enough. Symptoms of caffeine poisoning include hyperactivity, a rapid heart rate, tremors, and even seizures. In the most severe cases, it can unfortunately be fatal. It is essential to make sure your cat never has access to leftover coffee or tea. Picture your curious cat taking a sip from that mug you left sitting on the counter. That small, seemingly innocent action could lead to tragedy. The common myth that just a tiny bit will perk them up is entirely and dangerously false. Dairy products. Despite the classic image of a cat happily lapping up a saucer of milk, the truth is that most adult cats are actually lactose intolerant. They simply lack the essential enzyme, lactase, which is needed to properly break down the sugar found in milk, lactose. Giving them milk or other dairy products can lead to severe digestive distress, including stomach upset, diarrhea, and vomiting. While this condition is rarely fatal, it causes your cat significant discomfort and can quickly lead to dangerous dehydration. The safest approach is to avoid giving your cat any dairy products whatsoever. Just imagine the suffering of a little kitten struggling with a painful tummy ache after being given a small dish of milk. This widespread cultural misconception is, unfortunately, a serious risk to feline health. Grapes and raisins. While the exact reason for their toxicity in cats remains largely unknown, it is absolutely proven that grapes and raisins can trigger acute kidney failure. Even consuming a tiny amount of either a grape or a raisin can lead to a serious health crisis. Symptoms to watch for often include vomiting, diarrhea, noticeable lethargy, a loss of appetite, and abdominal pain. Be aware that these products are often hidden in human foods, like baked goods or granola mixes. If you share any human food with your cat, you must always double-check the ingredient list. Imagine your cat accidentally snacking on a single grape that rolled off the counter. That small incident could cause severe, lasting damage to their kidneys. When it comes to these foods, there is simply no room for error or experimentation. Raw eggs. They pose a double threat to your cat's health. First, raw eggs often carry harmful bacteria like Salmonella or E. coli, which can cause severe gastrointestinal upset and serious illness. Second, egg whites contain a compound called avidin. Avidin actively binds to biotin, also known as vitamin B7. A deficiency in biotin can lead to significant problems with your cat's skin and coat. If you absolutely must give your cat eggs as an occasional treat, they should always be thoroughly cooked. Imagine your cat suffering from chronic digestive issues and a dull, unhealthy coat, all due to regularly eating raw eggs. The pervasive myth that raw is better when feeding eggs to cats must be completely debunked. Raw fish. Cats are predators and we know they love fish. However, giving your cat raw fish can actually be quite dangerous. Raw fish contains an enzyme called thiaminase. This enzyme actively destroys vitamin B1 or thiamine in your cat's system. A thiamine deficiency is extremely serious. It can lead to severe neurological problems, seizures, and potentially even a coma. Furthermore, raw fish often harbours parasites and bacteria that can cause acute food poisoning. If you plan to treat your feline friend to fish, the rule is simple. Always cook it thoroughly. Just try to imagine your cat lying listlessly, unresponsive to you, all because of a missing essential vitamin. That is definitely not the picture of a harmless, healthy treat. Raw meat and bones. Raw meat can harbour harmful bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli, potentially causing severe health issues for your cat. Furthermore, bones, especially cooked ones, are prone to splintering. These sharp fragments can cause serious internal injuries to the esophagus, stomach, or intestines, and they also pose a significant choking hazard. While raw bones might seem less dangerous, they still carry a substantial risk of physical trauma. If you choose to feed your cat meat products, always opt for commercially prepared, vet-approved raw food, or make sure the meat is thoroughly cooked and completely boneless. Just imagine the pain your cat would endure after swallowing a sharp shard of bone. Feeding bones is simply a dangerous practice that should be avoided. Avocado. This popular fruit, which is great for people, contains persin, a fungicidal toxin that can be harmful to cats, especially if consumed in large quantities. Persin is found throughout the plant, in the fruit, the leaves, the seeds, and the skin. It can lead to vomiting, diarrhea, and other serious digestive issues. While the level of toxicity depends on the specific variety of avocado, the safest choice is to completely eliminate it from your cat's diet. Just imagine a poor cat suffering from severe indigestion after getting into this fruit. Simply put, this exotic food is not meant for felines. Liver. While small amounts can be beneficial, feeding too much liver is extremely dangerous. Liver is high in vitamin A, and overconsumption, known as hypervitaminosis A, can lead to serious bone and joint issues, particularly affecting the cervical spine. This condition often causes painful deformities and severely limited mobility. Therefore, you must avoid regularly feeding your cat large quantities of liver. Just imagine a cat struggling to move normally because of joint problems caused by too much vitamin A in their diet. Moderation is the key. Excess is a catastrophe waiting to happen. Raw yeast dough. Leaving raw yeast dough unattended is extremely dangerous for pets. Inside your cat's warm stomach, the dough will begin to rise dramatically, turning the stomach into an incubator and causing severe, painful bloating. But the danger doesn't end there. Furthermore, the yeast ferments during this process, releasing ethanol, which results in serious alcohol poisoning. Symptoms of ingestion include acute abdominal swelling, vomiting, lethargy, and disorientation. This is truly one of those hidden kitchen dangers that catches many pet owners off guard. Just imagine the severe discomfort and pain caused by that internal swelling and intoxication. To keep your pet safe, never, under any circumstances, leave raw yeast dough unattended. Cyanogenic glycosides, the hidden danger. Many common fruits like apples, cherries, peaches, and apricots have seeds or pits that contain compounds known as cyanogenic glycosides. When these are broken down by the body, they release potent cyanide. It is absolutely crucial that your cat never swallows these seeds or pits, as cyanide is a fast-acting and deadly poison. If your cat is poisoned, watch for severe symptoms, including difficulty breathing, bright cherry red gums, convulsions, and eventually shock. Even if you offer your cat a small, safe piece of fruit, always ensure you meticulously remove all seeds and pits beforehand. While cats aren't typically fruit eaters, a single accidental ingestion of a fruit pit can easily be fatal. Imagine the nightmare. Your cat struggling desperately for air after ingesting something from a fruit seed. This is an extreme and immediate life or death situation. Xylitol containing candies and gum. Xylitol is an artificial sweetener commonly found in sugar-free products, things like chewing gum, toothpaste, and some types of candy. However, for cats, it is extremely toxic. Ingestion causes a sudden, dramatic drop in blood sugar levels, known as hypoglycemia, and can rapidly lead to acute liver failure. Symptoms may include vomiting, lethargy, loss of coordination, and seizures. Always double-check the ingredient list on any sugar-free item. Imagine your cat collapsing due to a massive blood sugar drop after eating just one piece of gum. It is truly a silent killer. Human medications. This is one of the leading causes of accidental poisonings in pets. Never, under any circumstances, give your cat human medication without first consulting your veterinarian. Pain relievers such as acetaminophen, paracetamol, and ibuprofen are highly toxic to cats. They can cause severe liver and kidney failure, as well as the destruction of red blood cells. Even a single acetaminophen pill can be fatal. Always store all medications safely out of reach of your pets. Imagine your cat suffering, refusing to eat, and agonizing in pain after being given a human drug. This isn't just a mistake. It is outright criminal negligence. Potatoes and tomatoes, the green parts. The green parts of potatoes and tomatoes, including the stems and leaves, contain a toxic glycoalkaloid called solanine, which is highly dangerous to cats. This toxin can lead to severe gastrointestinal upset, cardiac arrhythmias, and serious nervous system problems. Always ensure your cat does not have access to any of these plant parts. You must be especially cautious with unripe, green tomatoes. This is not just a myth. It is a serious and often underestimated danger. Imagine your cat suffering from severe vomiting and diarrhea just because they chewed on a tomato vine or stem. Salt and salty foods. While a minuscule amount of salt is necessary for a cat's diet, in excess, it is outright toxic. Giving your cat overly salty snacks like potato chips, salted nuts, or smoked meats can easily lead to sodium-ion poisoning. Symptoms of sodium poisoning range from excessive thirst and frequent urination to vomiting, diarrhea, disorientation, and seizures. And, in severe cases, it can even cause a coma. You must strictly monitor your cat's intake of salty foods. Just imagine your cat constantly guzzling water and acting strangely, all because of a sudden sodium overload. This isn't a harmless treat, it's a serious threat. Mushrooms. While some varieties of fungi are harmless to humans, they can be extremely poisonous to cats. Mushroom poisoning can trigger a wide range of symptoms, spanning from simple gastrointestinal upset to severe damage affecting the nervous system, liver, and kidneys. Because identifying which fungi are toxic is incredibly difficult, the safest approach is to exclude them entirely from your cat's environment and diet. Never intentionally feed your cat mushrooms, and be vigilant about preventing her from consuming them, especially when outdoors. Imagine the severe pain and distress your cat would endure if they accidentally ingested a poisonous mushroom. This is a very real and serious threat to their life. Tuna. Small amounts of tuna specifically formulated for cats are generally safe. However, regularly feeding your cat tuna intended for human consumption can lead to problems. Tuna, especially when canned in oil, is often high in salt and fat, which can easily cause an upset stomach. Furthermore, a long-term diet consisting only of tuna can cause thiamine deficiency and other nutritional imbalances. This is because tuna is not a complete source of all the essential nutrients a cat needs. Just imagine a cat looking depleted and lethargic if that's all they ever ate. It is simply not a complete or balanced diet. Yeast. The powder, not the dough. Pure yeast itself, whether it's brewer's or nutritional yeast, can cause significant gastrointestinal distress in cats if ingested in large amounts. This often manifests as excessive gas, severe bloating, and diarrhea. While this isn't as life-threatening as raw bread dough, which is a massive emergency, it's still crucial to keep pure yeast away from your cat entirely. If you are using yeast-based supplements for their coat or skin, always do so strictly under veterinary guidance. Just picture a cat suffering from severe abdominal discomfort after getting into a full packet of yeast. It's extremely painful for them. And yes, it poses a real danger. We've just uncovered 20 common, yet deadly foods that might be lurking right in your kitchen, posing a serious threat to your cat's life. From common culprits like chocolate and onions, to the sneaky danger of xylitol in grapes, every single one of these items presents a real and present danger. Remember, a cat's digestive system is vastly different from ours. What is perfectly safe for a human can be absolutely fatal to your beloved pet. Now that you are aware of these risks, your mission is clear. Protect your furry friend from these hidden hazards and prevent catastrophic feeding mistakes. This knowledge isn't just information, it's a lifesaver for your cat. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this critical video. Always remember, prioritizing proper nutrition is the ultimate expression of love for your cat. If you found this useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our new videos about pet health. And please, make sure to share this video with other cat owners so they too can be fully informed about these dangers. We want to hear from you. Which product on this list surprised you the most? And were you already aware of all these dangers before watching? Let us know in the comments below.